Capcom is at it again, censoring another video game, and while I can't say I'm shocked, I am pretty disappointed because I want Capcom to be as great as they used to be, but it just looks like they're heading down the path of destruction, and now we're finding out, in keeping with their ongoing deference to modern audiences, Capcom has confirmed that nearly every title set to be included in their newly announced Capcom Fighting Collection 2 will be subjected to some form of visual censorship, which is so disappointing because when I see titles with games that are remastered or ports, I get really excited because I get to experience those, in a lot of cases, nostalgic titles again, like it's the first time. But when I see these collections now, I instantly become worried because this happens so often. You cannot blindly support products anymore. You can't get excited. You can't get your hopes up until you've done so much research into products, because I know I personally don't want to buy a collection where the games are altered when I could just play the original forms. It says released to the public on August 28th, by the way, of the day's Nintendo Partner Showcase. The second entry into the Fighting Collection series is set to bring 8 of the developers' best fighters like SNK Pro, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and more to modern hardware, which again is really freaking cool, but taking care to avoid revealing the collection's censorship during the aforementioned partner showcase, Capcom instead hid the news on the game's official website. This is also terrible. If you're going to alter something, you need to be upfront with your customers. Yes, you are going to lose a lot of people that are going to decide to boycott it, but at least you'd be honest and upfront, and they're not doing that either. According to said pages, as a result of these changes, Capcom vs. SNK Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper will have some stage visuals altered, with Plasma Sword likewise seeing changes to the appearance of certain stages. We have a couple others that will see edits made to certain visuals during each game's story. You're also going to see some character transformations dropped, and as of writing, Capcom has not provided any specific details, but this seems to be the direction a lot of Japanese companies are heading in. They are making the same mistakes that the Western developers did, which is why so many people gave up on Western entertainment and looked to Japanese devs to give us something good and unique and uncensored, not hindered by, the focuses of DEI and trying to chase ESG dollars. And that's happening with Japanese devs now, which is why we're shifting away from them and going to the Korean market. There's been a massive boom in, the Korean market recently. I've done a couple videos on it, but this is all because these companies are chasing the fabled modern audience, which never works. We see time and time again games release like Concord, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, Dustborn, and then Japanese titles like this altered to try to appeal to these individuals, but they're few and far between. There aren't a lot of people that could be classified as modern audiences, and most of them are sensitive snowflakes. And because these games originally had this content that they'd, I guess, find offensive, which is why it was altered in the first place, they're not going to support it. And it's so pathetic to see companies do this because they will try to convince you, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's only a couple of changes. But if it wasn't important, why change it in the first place? So they are definitely trying to, beat around the bush here. They don't want to be completely upfront and honest. And we do not have exact details as to what is being changed, but one would assume they're getting rid of, bikini clad dancers, some of the more suggestive decorations, and some of the stages, like, bunny girls who are showing a lot of skin. There are some scenes that are pretty risque where there are female characters who are topless and they're barely covering, their breasts. So these are all things that, yes, are most likely going to be altered. Lots of cleavage, toned down, a lot of clothing added to characters who were previously looking very, very risque, and most likely what they will deem as stereotypical depictions of certain groups of people and cultures. I will be keeping my eye on this when we have official confirmation. I will be making another follow-up video because this is extremely disappointing, but Capcom is of course going forward with their focus on modern audiences, and now we're finding out they're censoring the Capcom Fighting Collection too. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.